everybody. On a Tuesday after Super Bowl 60, Seahawks top the Patriots. Jamie, Manti, Seth, and LeGarrette. LG, I gave you a hard time about your sunglasses. It's actually all love here. We really welcome that on GMFB. There's a specific memory that I have. Aaron Jones, Packers Aaron Jones, hosted 4 hours one time of Good Morning Football, and it was right around the time that Aaron Rodgers was trying to decide what to do with the Packers. So we're going a couple years back, right? And we made Aaron Jones look into his camera like 7 different times on the show and just plead with Rodgers to stay in Green Bay. And he went to the Jets the next week. So, and somehow we're going to talk Rodgers today and another decision he has to make. So as much things change, they stay the same as well. But you wear those shades as long as you want, okay?
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I don't know what we're going to make you...
I'm here with him now, so it's too late.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too late.
We've committed to the bit at this point. All right, speaking of the bit, Seth, you a big Disneyland guy?
Oh, come on. I got a 5-year-old daughter. Of course I'm a Disneyland guy. Of course.
Well, some people don't feel that way. Some people don't feel that way. We saw some Seahawks.
What? What is the happiest place on earth?
There is a disadvantage to your co-host knowing you so well that she can roast you without even mentioning your name. I love Jamie Earl. You understand, bro, how hard that is?
Oh, man.
God.
She basically talked about me without talking about me, while talking about Seth. That's the whole art in itself. Yes, I am that one. Disneyland.
I bet Disneyland hits different after you won a Lombardi, doesn't it? That's what happened to the Seahawks yesterday. the Seahawks landed back in Seattle on Monday afternoon with their Super Bowl trophy in tow, second in Lombardi franchise history. Mike McDonald became the 3rd youngest head coach in NFL history to win a Super Bowl. As we take a look at this video, which happened about, I don't know, 40 hours prior, with a moment with his family on the field after his Super Bowl win.
So how was your day?
Like, you can't believe it, you know? It's so awesome.
It's surreal. You did it.
I love you.
I'm so proud of you.
We did it.
We did.
We did it.
We did. We
did it.
We did it. And you know what? We did not care.
We did not care. These junkies. What do you think, buddy? Jack, one day you're going to really like this day.
It's actually so relatable that despite that man just winning a Lombardi, he's still like, look at these kids' legs. They're so cute. Baby legs are so cute. All right, we look back at a Super Bowl winning season by the Seahawks. It was an incredible run for Seattle. Winners of the NFC West, #1 overall seed in the NFC. They hosted every single playoff game on their way to the Bay Area. Manti, do you have a memory from the Seahawks 2025 that stands out to you the most that you will remember?
Man, out of all of the moments in the season for the Seattle Seahawks, I think that the one that stands out to me the most is that overtime win against the Rams, the second time that they played the Rams in Seattle. They had those rivalry jerseys on, and then this play happens. Zach Charbonnet just casually walks over there, picks the ball up. The 2-point conversion is good. They were losing, guys, that game by 16 points in the 4th quarter, and then somebody on the Rams offensive side laughed at the defense for the Seattle Seahawks, and Ernest Jones said that was it. That was a turning point. It wasn't over then. And then Rashid Shaheed returns that punt for a touchdown, which ignited everybody over there and started that comeback. And I think the picture that kind of sums up this entire Seattle Seahawks team was A.J. Barner at the end, standing amidst the crowd, and he's just standing there like a gladiator. I had to go back to that moment because I think that was that game where we talked a lot about Sam Darnold in the first game and those interceptions that he threw. Could he overcome that? That was a game that I thought that the Seattle Seahawks played as a complete team. The defense struggled for a little bit. 4th quarter, they clamped down. The offense, they struggled for a little bit. 4th quarter, they came in. They came in heavy with some explosive plays, and then special teams was special. So, out of all of the plays, Seth, I had to go to all the moments, Seth, I had to go to that one.
Well, it actually, if that's how Game 2 went for that matchup, we should have known how it was going to go for the NFC title in the playoffs. The fact that we got 3 of those matchups for Seahawks-Rams is pretty impressive. LeGarrette, I'm going to make you go next because I feel like you got a take on most memorable regular season moment.
Well, I had a couple of them. Just the fact that they played the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
They beat them. They beat them the first time.
Yep.
13-3, and then they whooped them handedly, obviously, the next time. So
Yeah.
that goes to me. Everybody's saying like the Rams would have been a great,
Guys.
Yep.
I mean, that division, you could have had 3 Super Bowl champions out of that division.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they dominated. They dominated the top 2 teams in that division, the 49ers and the Rams. And I think for me, I made it very difficult on the production team. I apologize, because I couldn't come up with one moment. For me, it was a season of consistency for this squad.
Yep.
They were level throughout. A lot of teams, ups, downs, you start slow, you finish fast, or you're the Colts, you start hot, and then the wheels fall off.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Seattle Seahawks this year were the picture of consistency. They were able to stay relatively healthy throughout the season, which is great. The defense at every single turn was dominant. It did not matter. They did not take a week off. I mean, they had trouble with the Stafford Rams, but didn't everybody, right? Didn't everybody. It wasn't like anybody was stopping those guys. So they had trouble there, but they willed themselves. Manti, that game you talked about, that was a big one, I think, from a national perspective. I know KB, he's not here, but he's here in spirit, and he was singing their praises all year. Anybody who would listen would see him on this show talking about Mike McDonald, talking about the Seahawks, talking about this defense. So, KB, we love you. Seattle loves you as well, although, they were harping on him yesterday wearing the jacket.
Yeah.
But yeah, that consistency all year, that is so hard to do. You have 17 regular season games. You guys know. You know how hard it is to get up every single week and make that play, the consistency every single week. For me, we don't have an off season in WWE. So the only time we get time off is when I get a busted up wing or a busted up knee. I understand that consistency to get up and do your best work every single week, to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, to win dominantly over and over and over, and continue, especially when you're not in the spotlight, to continue to just march along and have the season they had. It was a testament to their coach and their team. I loved it. It was a
I don't know,
beautiful
Seth.
season.
It feels like you found a good way to take some time off from the WWE last year when you pulled your ultimate ruse.
Look, I don't know if that was time off. I was in character 24/7. All
That's a
right,
good point.
I was sleeping next to some crutches. Okay, so it wasn't like I was just taking a vacation. I wasn't going to Disneyland, where I'd love to be, the happiest place on
With
earth.
his child.
No, I was suffering.
gosh.
All right, I was suffering for my art. That's what I was doing.
Rightfully so. We all do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Suffer
God.
for your
That
art,
was
man.
really well
That's
done.
me.
That
Okay.
was excellent. Speaking of the consistency, Seth, that you mentioned, I actually had to go back in the Seahawks schedule to realize the last time they even lost a game was Week 11, November 16th, and that was the 2-point loss to the Rams, that home game that we all look back at. There is speaking of being hard on the production staff, I have one, but I know I didn't tee it up on them, so I'm just going to talk about Sam Darnold for a second. November 30th. The Minnesota Vikings come to the Seattle Seahawks to play. Max Brosmer, that poor soul in that game, started that game. I think he had 4 picks. I think he was sacked 5 times. The Seahawks shut out the Minnesota Vikings. And I feel like if you're on a team and if you love Sam Darnold, your quarterback, as much as Seahawks, the entire roster seemed to do, that is a moment where I feel like the entire team stood up for that guy and was like, oh, not only are we going to crush the team that lets you walk away from us, we're going to hold them scoreless. We're going to beat up on their rookie undrafted quarterback. Like, that 26-0 win in Week 13, I think, probably was the most memorable. Maybe not my favorite, but the most memorable. Okay?
It took a lot of guts right there.
Thank you so much.
That would not have been me if they had played Chicago. No chance.
Sometimes you just rip the Band-Aid off, and you're just like, and rubbing alcohol. That was just some regular season moments from the Seahawks run up to Super Bowl 60. But now we have to look at Super Bowl 60 as the whole picture. Do you have a lasting image, Manti, from the Seahawks Super Bowl 60?
Yeah, when you think about the Super Bowl, the unfortunate part of a Super Bowl that is so one-sided is I don't think you could identify one moment where it's like, wow, it wasn't like an interception ended the game. It wasn't like some block punt where it was captured in a photograph. But there was a scene of Mike McDonald when after he won the game and he's just looking at the confetti. If there was a picture that could scream 1,000 words, that was it for me. I've never seen it. You know what I mean? Man, this is for all the hard work. This is for all the hours, because there was a report that came out that he only spent like 30 minutes with his son because he was just so dedicated to the season. And as the confetti falls, I can imagine for Mike McDonald, it's just like, it was all worth it. All the sacrifices, not only on his behalf, but on the players. Like, this is what you played for. This is why you came. This is why you became a head coach. And so that was that moment for me at LG that I thought, like, man, that encapsulated everything.
Shout out, though, to that video of Mike McDonald and his wife, Stephanie, and their son. Like, this might be an unpopular opinion, but we're all parents at the table. Like, his, I don't know, his son looked pretty young.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you're going to take time out of your day just to spend 30 minutes at home with your kid, like, that might be the right age to do it, because, like, he's not gonna remember that.
Yeah.
Your kid.
Yeah.
Stephanie is out home grinding with their son, and congratulations to her, and that is fantastic. But, like, Coach, I see what you did there. Like, he'll remember the confetti in the video in the NFL Films moment later, but, like, he didn't know that he was happy that you were home for the 30 minutes with the mac and cheese, and that's fantastic.
He don't know.
All right? Go ahead, LeGarrette. What was your favorite moment?
My lasting memory will be the pick six, the picture of Uchenna Nwosu,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
holding up his hands and just looking at the sky like, oh my gosh, we're here. You know,
Yeah.
that's my favorite moment. You know, that's my favorite moment. You don't get a lot of defensive players don't get touchdowns in the Super Bowl. If you want the hand in the air, if you want to put his hand in the air, he did 3 celebrations at once. You know, he got in the end zone, he put his hands up. I mean, that's an amazing feeling, man. I've scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl before, so it's unmatched. I know he was really excited about that. I hope he held on to that football, because I don't know if I still. Me and Manti talked about this before. I never saw mine again. So. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get it though. That's my favorite image though. That's amazing. I love that. That's the greatest feeling of all time.
Well, you guys went for elation, right? You went for happiness.
Go on.
Yeah. I'm gonna rain on this parade a little bit. Yeah, because there's 2 sides to every story. You know what I'm saying? And so you guys went for elation. I'm going for misery.
Oh.
I'm going for misery, and it actually, you know, it comes right off of your moment. It was the sack that got that. It was an interception, fumble, whatever.
Right,
I don't know if it's a strip sack.
They called it a pick, right?
Yeah.
Called it a pick.
Interception.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a takeaway in basketball.
So he loses the sack, right? He don't
Yeah,
get a
right.
sack.
There is no sack. It was,
that would've been 2
allegedly, it
for
was an
him.
interception. Whatever. Drake May was in dismay after that.
Exactly. Drake May was in dismay. I mean, you could have called, that could have been his nickname.
Oh, that's
Drake.
a good one.
But just, is there any way to zoom in? Can we just zoom? Is there a possibility to zoom in on his face?
You're really asking a lot today.
I know, but just look at his face, man. His face, I mean, you can see it. His body language is, you know, but look at him. He's just getting swarmed. He's getting beat up. Witherspoon's just got his arm. I know they called it a pick six, but it's a strip sack, whatever you want to call it. It's elite defensive ball. And his face, this was him all game. This was him. I mean, you could have picked him. We saw a picture yesterday where he's getting driven into the ground on a sack, where he's making a very similar face. I mean, it's just, they were outmatched in every single facet of the game. There wasn't a highlight to be seen outside of Christian Gonzalez for the Patriots. And this was an encapsulation. There it is. That's what it is. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Look at his face. Oh, the pain. The
If you
misery.
didn't know what hand, which dominant hand Drake May was, you wouldn't be sure what hand that ball came out of.
Yeah,
Like, just the way he is absolutely flailing.
You know, you just like,
got the T-Rex. You got the T-Rex.
And that was the game.
Yes.
That was the game. There was another moment to me that I wanted to get into a little bit, because we didn't talk about it too much yesterday, and that was the halftime show. I wanted to give a shout out to Bad Bunny.
Hey,
It was just awesome. My colleague Benito, fellow WWE superstar. I mean, you know, there was a lot of talk going into the halftime show about this and that and this and that, but at the end of the day, it was about unity. His message was about bringing people together. Love is stronger than hate. And I just thought that was so beautiful and so powerful. And it didn't matter where you come from, what your background was, what your ethnicity. Got it. Your religious background, anything. It was just about love. It was like, come as you are, be a part of this. And I thought that was beautiful. And it was a bigger kind of, that's what the Super Bowl is. That's what football is. You bring everybody together. You watch this game. You talk about it. We're talking about it. And there's just so much joy that comes from football, and that comes from being together as a community, as one with different cultures. It was such a beautiful halftime show. I don't even know a single Bad Bunny song.
No, it was a good time.
I was nearly in tears by the end of it. I was nearly in tears by the end of it.
Well,
messaging was beautiful.
We talked about it. I didn't understand 98% of what he said, but I was fully fluent in understanding of his intention, the message, and the vibe. It was production of culture, of love, of unity.
That's it.
And I thought it was absolutely fabulous. I want to go back to that picture. Show that picture that Drake made, because I think this is something.
Get into it.
This is where, like, look.
Oh, man.
See that hand? See Witherspoon's hand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Seattle Seahawks were just in a whole nother world where you don't see a lot of DBs understanding to put their hand up to strip the ball.
Yeah.
Like, you know this, LG.
Oh, yeah.
When people that aren't used to rushing, they'll just hit the quarterback.
Just the quarterback.
But Witherspoon on that picture is like, I'm going to get this ball. And then to your picture, for Uchenna to have, like, you know how they do those light little training videos?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
green light. His reaction time to catch the ball and then run, that's why I guess you do all of those light exercises that they do in the offseason.
Yeah.
I thought that encapsulated everything with the game of where they were mentally. The Seattle Seahawks, they were so in tune with what was going on that you had a DB stretching his hand out to cause the fumble or the tipped ball. And then you had Uchenna Nwosu catching the ball like as he's rushing and turning it into a touchdown. I thought that was amazing.
That was elite athleticism by Uchenna Nwosu.
Yeah.
Elite athleticism, because we seen this game, we seen guys drop multiple picks this game. And one of the most impressive ones came from an outside linebacker.
Yeah. I dropped one last week too.
Oh, no. You did.
Throwing out the TV, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Oh,
did.
man.
And
Oh,
then Uchenna redeemed all of us defensive
right?
players. Guys.
Exactly. Listen, if you're a fan of the league, I feel like, Seth, to put a bow on what you were saying, like the NFL and the commissioner, they're being very intentional about their international efforts. And, like, you can't have it both ways. Like, here goes the NFL trying to get a full slate of games internationally, and there's Bad Bunny representing every single flag off the field. So it's a beautiful thing to see. Uchenna Nwosu, I said it yesterday, Uchenna and Sam Darnold co-MVPs on that USC team in their final season together. I just think that's so cool. I can't get over that. Moving on GMFB, like we said,